Living legend. This is the first time we got a chance to get together in Philadelphia, in your city. It's great to be here. What was your first thought with the Canelo and Jacobs fight being made? I want to jump right into that first.
When I got the call, or the text first, and then I got the call, I was like for real, right? It was like, yeah, for real. I was like, yo, man, this is huge, not only for both of the fighters, but for boxing and for our company, Golden Boy. So my whole thing was exactly what we preach, the best fighters fighting the best, and now it came to fruition. They both signed on. I can't wait.
If I get into this game as being a partner with Oscar and being a promoter, was your agenda like, I don't want to make no BS fights. I want the best to fight the best.
One of them is to do the best fights, but the main or the motivational thing for me, being the best and bringing something different as time move on in boxing in generations, that I can now set a historic conversation about me after boxing. So while I was still active, I wanted to make sure teaming up and joining that Oscar brand, right, in promotion, that when my career ended, and I know it took a long time for it to go,
a lot longer than people thought.
But yes, I visualized, I premeditated the thought of being in this position. So this is nothing that I'm surprised about. This is nothing in 2019 that I'm saying, wow, man, you know, we did it like that. No, this is what I say. Basically, not necessarily I told you so, but we said. When I do press conferences, I always say, we told you so. Not in a bold way, but in a way of saying, I want to keep y'all in the same frame of remembering what was said. The best fights, fighting the best fighters, whether they with us, right, or against us, or with someone else, we want to put the best fights on, and now that's starting to echo. It's the fighters who's looking at birthdays are passing every year, right? Life is changing every year for them, and they want to fight the best if they have a belt and 3 other people have the same belt or the same belt in the division. That's the game changer.
When you guys got together, Sugar Shane Mosley, you, Oscar, Barrera, was one of your motivations, okay, we don't want to be like that company over there?
We started off as fighters still active, but really by the age going their way out. I mean, I took a little
except for
you. Except for me, I know I took a little longer, but it was 5 of us as partners or in the group in the family of Golden Boy Promotion. We went on stage. You still got pictures if you can dig them up and see all of us on stage.
I remember.
Fighters now as a group being promoters. As time went on, one by one start falling from the wayside. If you remember, as you got a good memory, the prediction amongst the promoters, the well-respected ones, the ones that have been in front of TV people, whether it was here, there, or everywhere, they was extremely adamant about the relationship of Golden Boy and I will last less than a year or more. For whatever personal, legitimate, non-legitimate reasons, their prediction was Bernard and Oscar either going to be in court, he's hard to deal with, this, that, it won't last. And through all of that adversity,
the last man standing.
The last man is standing, because in my DNA is to prove people wrong. It started back from being incarcerated, coming out, staying out, and becoming someone that people are going to recognize for the world. And I wanted to make sure that we didn't fail, even at times where we, Oscar and I, disagree with who is better than who, whether it was fun stuff, not argumentative stuff, but things that men can disagree to agree, but still walk away knowing that we got a bigger fight ahead. That's the key. That was more important to me, is to show the naysayers who boldly predicted that we wouldn't last, especially with me, and I'll last every 4 or 5 partners that we had. It reminded me clear of a statement that I said many times in my life of boxing. I heard the warden, you'll be back less than 6 months. When I hear something that I don't agree with, I don't need to complain. I don't need to verbalizely whoop you down. But what I need to understand that when I hear the warden, every time, whether it's a real estate deal, whether it's an adversity deal, whether it's a commentating deal, whether it's why I ain't get this job deal, why nobody fought for me on this side because I got to fight for myself. At the end of the day, when I see adversity, where it's against me, from my understanding, I hear the warden. So I never close my ear to that warden because I realize what that motivation have done for me.
I guess that motivation of hearing that warden is pretty much what kept you going and succeeding for the last, 20-something, 30 years.
30 years I kept in my mind 20 defenses as a middleweight. The oldest fighter or athlete to ever won, well, you got Brady got a chance now to break the record. That's not a bad thing. At the end of all the accomplishments and all the things, the warden will always be in my ear when I face adversity. And some of that stuff can be legitimate. But if I don't believe what you believe based on whether I succeed or fail, then the warden will come in. The warden know his place.
Right.
He do know his place because the warden is so smart, he don't come in when he know that he got no chance.
Have you ever had a chance to see him again? That warden, that same warden?
I had to research the graveyard that he was in,
Yeah,
or he's in because he was 70, close to 70
wow.
then. So you look at the 30 years I've been out since 1988.
You never look
Now
back.
listen,
you never
if
look
he's around, then he won.
He's still living, waiting for you to come back. That's what
But I hear him, no, he's alive because I keep him alive. Because I need that. Some would say, man, let it go. You've been there, you've done that. I'm not stuck by no means.
Right.
But this is something that I got show and proof that this is something that motivated me and helped me get through some tough times where I couldn't figure it out, but I heard the warden. At the end of the day, that might be the title of my book. That might be the title of my
heard the
memoir.
warden?
That
Wow,
might be
I heard the
titled,
warden.
I heard the warden.
Your experiences in prison, is that something that you use often?
I just spoke at a prison that I did time in called Phoenix now and was graded for it. They called me in to speak for many hours to over 500. I believe 18,000 is there. They couldn't have everybody there, which we crested. You had to fill out a slip to get there. They had an overwhelming request to bid there, but it was a security risk, right? It was
Too many-
security.
too many
They couldn't-
18,000,
they
yeah.
don't, yeah, it was in the
18,000.
gymnasium. Packed, it was in the gymnasium. A lot of people I grew up with, a lot of people I was there when I was there, a lot of people came back, a lot of people got
outta
life.
here.
What I try to tell anybody, if asked upon me, where did I find that space to be able to be different? Don't give up. Never let no one throw the towel in on you. Never throw the towel in on yourself.
Right.
When I talked to Mike was giving a hand, a suicide prevention and educator program and company, and also foundation of passionate people because we lost someone in the depression and other anxieties and other thoughts and other, bully kids or they feel they failures, they told they nothing, they told they never be nothing. I mean, look at it, whether you're in New York, whether you're here, there, West Coast, East Coast, the fight that the young generation today, who's way different than we came up in a lot of ways, good or bad. And adversity seems to be able to knock them out and want them to exit out. And so a lot of my passion, a lot of things I'm doing is to talk to them to not throwing the towel in. I'm no doctor, I'm no psychologist. I don't have any education in whether you need medication or not. But what I do have a PhD in not giving up. And I do have a PhD in not throwing the towel in on me or let no one throw the towel in on you. So your opponent is anything that you're facing. When I speak to young adults, young high school, elementary school, and in between, is that today is rough. Tomorrow could be better. Tomorrow might be rough. The next day might be rough. But if you're not here to change it, then you'll never know when the sun gonna come out. You must give yourself a chance to do that. Your opponent is anything that you disagree of. That's your opponent. It's not a guy in the ring. That's my opponent. Your opponent is anything big or small in the middle that could have demised you of who you wanted to be. You got to put the chin down, mouthpiece in, bite down, and rumble, young man, rumble.
What would you say is your biggest accomplishment in life?
Walking off 9 years parole in the city of Philadelphia in 1988 when fast money, fast cars, fast girls, fast clubs, fast hustle, fast clothes. I think that the biggest thing to me, because I could never stay out of the police station or somebody's prison, from the juvenile to adult, the biggest thing and the biggest accomplishments to me is when I became champion of the world. It's when I walked off 9 years parole at 25 years old in 1988. I lost my first professional fight. I came back a year and a half later in 89, 90, was very crucial. It was a tug of war between, do I go on the street and get 2 kilos and flip them? Or do I go back in the gym and become 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, 7-1, 8-1, 10-1, 11-1, 12, 13, 14, 15, USBA champion,
the longest streak.
USBA champion, IBF champion, unification, 22 defense. I have a story to tell.
Undisputed.
The story is real. The story is Bernard became champion way before I got crowned in boxing world the champion.
Right.
The walk off, 9 years parole is not to be braggadocious.
Right.
To do that in New York is nearly impossible. To do that in any major city in America is impossible. I'm not saying that I'm special, but I'm definitely different. And to be in a situation where easily, if you look at from 89 to 90, 88 was Clinton Mitchell in Atlantic City. 89, 90 was the most important years and accomplishments of my life. And I've done a lot of things after that. And most people are shocked and surprised that I ain't mentioned some fight, some achievement, right? Even a Tito. There are separate stages in my life that it can be written 3 or 4 times in any book, anywhere, any memoir, anywhere. You know why? Because there's so many twists and turns. You can't hog Tommy and Tommy just to boxing. You got to say to me, if you know my story and you have patience and say, hold up. I'm looking at your record. 88, lost 4-rounder. What did you do in 89, 90? Oh. See, that's a book itself.
Right.
The hustle game was real. I wasn't patient to be on the corner. I'll let you be on there and I'm coming taking all of it. That could have been my life.
Right.
They was knocking dudes off like that. I become a problem. You a problem.
Right.
What do you think saved you?
I think what saved me is it wasn't my time, and the destiny that was already written out for me by the powers to be was already meant for me, because I lost my brother in 84, and he was the same mentality. Michael Derek Hopkins got killed in 84, the time I got sentenced to graded for. So it easily could have been flipped. You asked the question, well, what saved me? I think that what spared me, right, was not only was my time, but it was destined for me to wind up being who I am, right? Because a lot of things I can't explain to you. I can't explain to you why I just took this dude half a key, smacked him upside his head with no gun, and took all his money, and next thing I know, I'm on the same corner the next day and I ain't get my brains blown out. What saved me? You understand? What saved me? Ain't no gun saved me. I never was a gun-toting, holding dude. I never needed that. I was Debo in my era. I just ain't have a bike.
Exactly. You was a legend in the ring, and you're an incredible force outside of the ring. What's the best part of being a promoter?
The best part of being a promoter is to see young talent come from getting no press to this much press, to that much press, to now becoming a superstar. Changing lives from the sweet science to take and elevate their lives, not only within their family, but let them understand that they have a chance to change a generation that they wasn't privileged to be able to change the demographics of what their family was like. Like my family, like nobody went to college that I know, but I sent 2 nieces and a nephew to college.
Right.
You understand? The last one in University of Delaware. You know what I mean? So yeah, brought him over, took him out of Philly, signed the papers over so he can be in my house, in my home, and then he graduated out of UD. I would want to, as a promoter, the fighters or the young athletes that want to be fighters or want to go through the steps of Oscar, myself, you know, the other greats from the past and now, to be able to say boxing is a platform, but if you think it's going to be the lifespan, you won't be able to do it for life, but you must prepare yourself. So when it's over, even at 19, even at 20, even at 21, no matter how old you are, no matter where you're at in your career, it will come to that point where you can't and you won't be able to do it anymore. Prepare in the heat of the battle.
What would you say is the most difficult thing about being a promoter? The worst,
The
bad
most
side?
difficult thing about being a promoter, everybody want a free ticket. and
Yeah, with us too. Like,
we ain't even promoters and everybody
because
want
you're not
tickets
even a
for us.
promoter, so you know what
imagine
kind of
what you're
stress.
going through, yeah.
Listen. I still consider some of them friends,
funny.
even though
How do you say no? How do you get a text and you know you got love for this dude, but you just don't have a ticket for him? What's your response?
the most easiest thing you can do.
Put your phone down.
Out of sight, out of mind, you turn the phone off.
Act like you ain't see it.
Turn the phone off, or one of the most oldest but the most legitimate ways to do it is to hand somebody the phone to answer it. He's busy right now.
I got
So that's what you've been doing all week to us. That's why we
I
couldn't
was
get
doing
all
that
of
to a
you.
lot of people, and I'm gonna continue to do it. So this is no secret that I'm putting out because it wouldn't be a secret anymore.
Right.
When you call me and you get someone that you know it ain't me, right? I'm busy.
Just give up.
I'm busy because I know there will be a time where the fights is months or 2 months or 3 months away. It's always the day before.
Right.
I can't give you no tickets that's respectful anyway.
Right.
If I give you a ticket, you're not only out of reach, you're not even in the building, right? Closed circuit type, if that still exists. The TV screen is
Right,
somewhere
right.
at
So
the
put it
neighborhood
in.
park.
Before we get out of here, May 4th.
Yeah.
Just tell me a
Cinco de Mayo.
quick version. Cinco de Mayo, how does that fight play out?
That fight plays out as a shootout. Daniel Jacobs is underestimated with his power by most people in the public. He can't be taken lightly. I just think that experience of the people that Canelo's been in there with, walking through that fire with no shoes on, Canelo twice, and other fights before then, but mainly those 2 fights he had. I don't believe that Jacob is ready for that tough grind heat, but he's gonna put up a battle that if Canelo is not mentally ready and to come in there like this, a walk in the park, then we could see an upset. And I won't be surprised. Jacob is one of those fighters that getting better a little slower than Canelo got better after Mayweather. But have Canelo had success and now a point or 2 drop in his mental to be like he was before the fight's over. See, sometimes it's who you're fighting to get you up and knowing that it's a threat and it's a danger. When you up and fighting a challenge that you've been in there one time, and whether it's controversial or not, it became a draw. Now you got to go up again where a guy you know that you can't play games with, no matter what the outcome of the second fight was, and we know what it was.
I'm saying in your life.
Yes, in my life, I'm gonna look at it. Is the threat of Jacobs, it's the same mentality that Canelo's gonna come and take this fight from day one going in the gym. Now, through Canelo, emotionally, spiritually, and all the ingredients that make you get ready and say, look, man, this dude can hurt me. If he don't go in there understanding that this dude can hurt him, right, and beat him, he's not gonna have the soul to train like he trained the last time. It's called peaking at a highest level as a fighter. To not only be victorious, but to have a little fear in your soul that if you don't come right, that danger gonna bite you. That's what we at that level have to always go back in the well to make sure that it's there. If it's not there, it will get exposed because you will see a decline in the way you handle your business when you're in there. And with a guy like Jacobs, you can't go in there and make him feel that he can win. You must take that away from Daniel off the gate. You gotta come in there and let him know that, yeah, you're gonna be in this thing, but you ain't gonna win it. It has to be that way.
Totally agree. But on a lighter note, drip of the week is something that we do. We highlight the fighter that has, the hottest gear on,
The most sauce.
the nicest style, the most sauce.
You don't do the retired fighters?
No, you always gonna be a fighter now.
Oh, no, it don't matter. Okay, boxing royalty, how's that? You know what
Yes,
I'm saying?
yes.
Last time it was Caleb Plant. This time, this is our first live drip of the week.
Yes.
Bernard Hopkins with the drip of the day that you got on right now. Can we look at it?
No guts, no glory, no regrets, no
legend,
legend, no story.
I feel good.
Just a little something.
Man.
A little something.
Just a little something for the drip. You
So
gotta
do
let
you
the drip.
do you dress yourself or what?
No, I have a lot of help. I used to dress myself. I don't think I did good.
I think you did okay.
I don't
You
think
was
I
up.
did.
You was
I don't
good.
think
You
I
was
did.
good.
I don't think I did bad. I think I did good. But when you need to look good, you normally perform good,
Right.
and you normally feel the way you're dressed. So I think that is a combination of
Yeah, that's
success.
true. I agree.
You know, to a point, you are being judged by your appearance.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why
Yeah.
when you go
Yeah.
for a job
Yeah,
interview,
yeah.
you try to look your best, right?
Yeah, that's
point.
one of the
So-
reasons why,
point.
you know, a big part of our show, you know,
So
fashion
That's
is
a good
yes,
point,
so y'all started me I'm wearing hats again.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm paying homage right now at this interview in Philadelphia, and there's no way in the world that I was gonna sit here, right, rain or no rain, snow coming or not coming, without the Hat Boy's signature. Because
Thank you.
you have to respect the game.
Right.
And that's what I chose to
Appreciate
do tonight.
Appreciate that one.
acknowledgement,
Thank
man.
you.
I
Yes,
might
sir.
have to
Thank you,
bite
brother.
off and find that jacket, man.
No
Joy,
problem,
I
brother.
need this jacket.
Is that a one of a kind? Is that a one of a kind or what?
Here we
Man,
go.
There you go, the legend,
beautiful.
Bernard Hopkins.
Thank you, my brother. Look.